I'm running because we're running behind, and in order to speed things up, I'm cutting from 20 minutes to 10 minutes, so I just had 4 espressos. It might not make sense anything I say, but at least I'm going to do it fast. I'm here today as a parent of 3 teenagers here in Hollywood. I'm also a fancy pants movie producer, but that's less important. But before I get started, I want TED to like me. I want you to tweet me really nice. So I have a little gift for you. I have a little something. Can we pass around the little gifts that I've had distributed? Yes? We have them? Hello? Okay, good. Because I have one parental tool that I know works all the time, 100%. Bribery. And so for that, you get to play with your little tool later, but don't use it yet as a prototype, and without proper instructions, it doesn't work. Let me get to my point real quick. I've been working for the last 2 years on a docuseries called Selfie Sapiens. It basically, you might be some of them yourselves. Basically, it explores what pop culture is doing in social media and how it influences our kids, particularly mine. I'm selfish that way. Basically, what I've been doing is traveling around the world. I've done 300 interviews and talked to parents, grandparents, and kids alike with all the angst that's going on out there. Because I don't know if you know, but the average US teenager today spends 9 hours in front of an electronic device. 9. Now, I'm a little worried about the social narrative that goes through that and what is dominating our kids. I talk to my kids about it, but like you, I mostly get rolling eyes. Dad. I am a dinosaur in their eyes, clearly. Of course I am. I use one of these things. It's called a BlackBerry. I also once sat down, and I promise you this is true, my 13-year-old, I sat him down to tell him about safe sex. His crime? Well, he told me him and his girlfriend had been FaceTiming. I thought that was something dirty. Apparently. Hey, I never got to FaceTime my girlfriend. Anyway. So I'm concerned because I also see what my boys are receiving on their Instagram things, or whatever they're called. There's nude pictures that girls send to them, and think nothing of it. They get videos of girls masturbating in a shower because she thinks it's cool. Now, where did she pick that up? I'm wondering. And here I have a confession. I want you to take a position now. We are in the Freud building. I know it's not Sigmund Freud, but let's call it that. You can take the position of my therapist. You can sit and think about what you're going to do next Friday like she does and charge me $200. Hey, my problems are trivial. So if you lean back and say, aha, occasionally, or Niels, that'll be great. I'm Dr. Frankenstein. You see, I helped create that monster, the sex, power, and fame-driven life that's going on in social media today. So in my documentary, I've researched this, and I come across some pretty nasty examples of what goes on. For instance, this is something I saw last week on La Brea and Sunset. Now, you might think that this is a delivery service for flowers. Not so much. The sugar, it ain't candy. Basically, this is a service that, and I might get a letter from a litigator right now, really angry, but he would have a hard time counter-arguing with me that this is not, in fact, an online brothel, frankly. Now, I want you to pay attention to the 2 logos that are underneath what it says arrangement, because this is the important part. Here's some of the girls that are on here. They are girls that are looking to get sponsored. And it's rich men that are going to pamper their brains out, so to speak. Here's this Olivia. She's 19. She's from Sweden. She's a little crazy. Most of the girls from Sweden are, I can tell you by experience. But here's another one. Look, she's a fetish and erotic model, and she's forgetting to pay her bills. So she needs somebody to help her. Preferably a guy that has $10 million in the bank and drives a Ferrari. That's my problem here. Basically, it's gone into mainstream now, what I helped create. I was one of the guys that founded the lifestyle that is the foundation of all of this. The girls that try to emulate today's pop reality stars. The girls that think nothing of prostituting themselves or staging themselves as if there was something real, that they're not. Basically, it ended me in a hospital in Stockholm in 2008 because I had started living that lifestyle and I had become what I call a fat ego. My friends still think I am, but let me explain. In 2008, like I said, I ended up in Stockholm in a hospital, but not one of those where they locked the doors from the inside. This one, they locked it from the outside. It's quite different. I had become non-authentic. I was no longer me. I was no longer the great guy that I used to be. It started out real enough. You see, in 2001, I helped start a brand. My friend Tony had created something really cool based on the counterculture of 50s California. Think like James Dean and Steve McQueen, anti-establishment. It was awesome. I was hired to build the business, and we hired an amazing designer called Christian. And soon we started, taking off. The brand looked like this. Some of you might still have a hat back in their carpet back home, and dust it off, because it's going to come back. With counterculture. Anyway, we started staging our own lives. We started basically becoming somebody that thought we were celebrities ourselves, because quickly we had people like this on it. Like this. This is a young man to the right. I don't know if you can recognize him. His name is Justin, I think. The lady to the right on the bike is Madonna. Yep, there's Eva Longoria. We had lots of celebrities. We became very, very famous. Famous for being famous, actually. And we started joking around with it. Basically, we started acting as celebrities ourselves. So when Christian, our genius designer, would go to fashion shows, he would walk down the aisle, and we would have interns. I promise you this is true. We would have interns snapping pictures of him, and then people would say, "Who's that?" And we would go, "You don't know? It's Christian Audiche." He became famous for being famous, and we started to becoming, before there was anything called selfies, we were the first selfie brand ever. And it went on and on and on, and it spread around the world like a wildfire. Everybody wanted to wear our clothes, and everybody wanted to have a little bit of our cool factor. Celebrities alike. We milked the media, and they milked us back, and we were pretty good at it. Now, we had Britney Spears, who was an awesome girl, and she was wearing all our clothes around her world tour. Oops, I did it again. And one day, a young girl, a 21-year-old young girl, walks into Christian's office and says, "Can you make me like Britney? I want to be cool like that. I want to be rock and roll." And he goes, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And so he dressed her in a very, very, very short miniskirt, put a Von Dutch hat on her, everything Von Dutch. In fact, we even gave her a jacket for her poodle. Yeah, we had poodle jackets. They were called Von Dog. And then we had her exit our store. Grand exit, because we had real paparazzis all around the store all the time. They were waiting for Nicolas Cage or Madonna to come out. And we had our interns stand next to them, and then we started snapping picture of this girl. All the other real paparazzis would say, "Who the heck is she?" And they would go, "You don't know? She's super famous." And they went like, "Oh, okay." Well, then they took pictures too of her. And that's when we created our monster. That's me, Dr. Frankenstein, created the first Selfie Sapien ever. The girl looked like this. Yeah. I've been to Paris Hilton, in Paris, but this is Paris. I'm presenting the real one, or the fake one, however you want to say it. And that's when we exploded. We became the second most famous brand in the world according to internet searches in 2004, only surpassed by something called Louis Vuitton, whatever that is. And it went on and on and on. Now everybody was starting to glam like we were. We became hotter than July, and everybody wanted in on the act. Except now, our authenticity was starting to melt away. We were starting to become unauthentic, and what we had created had now had a life of its own. Von Dutch started showing up as parodies even. This is Jennifer Aniston. I love that girl, but being parodied on Saturday Night Live as a ridiculous brand is hard. Other brands showed up, Von Dork, Von Bitch, whatever. But we had created that ourselves. I worked with Anna Nicole Smith. She was an amazing girl. She wanted to create a clothing line, and we helped her with it. We were in Vegas at the presentation party, and I sat with her one night, and she said, Niels, this is a crazy circus, and I feel more like a product than a person, and I'm messed up on meds. I can't recognize myself anymore. I say, well, I kind of feel the same way about our brand. She said, I might even die from it. A few months later, she did. Are you listening, sugar girls? So that's when the lifestyle got out of control. Von Dutch became Ed Hardy. It all exploded into vanity, greed, and obsession with ego. The fat egos had erupted, and so did mine. I had Lehman Brothers try and buy the brand, and I went behind the back of my great friend Tony because I had become a fat ego and the brand had lost control and all authenticity. I ended up in this hospital in Stockholm. In there, I sat with a bank director with a nervous breakdown. I sat with a model on heroin addiction. I sat with someone that had her third suicide attempt because she had been prostituting herself earlier in life. And that's when I started to become real again. The fat ego finally started to deflate. I met other people with vulnerabilities, and that opened mine. So I decided, that's it. No more egos, no more power games, no more vanity. So I took a job in the movie business. Yeah. That was a bit of a change. Anyhow, my program I've worked on for the last 2 years has traveled around the world and looked at what happened. Our Selfie Sapien had now become entire families of Selfie Sapiens. They're called the Kardashians. Shock value has spread like crazy, and everything is now, everybody can stage their own lives with a click. My kids can do it. They can be famous in an instant like that. New popularity-based tools like Facebook and Instagram had popped up now and giving great new breeding grounds for Selfie Sapiens. They also had new playgrounds. They were called Tinder, Grindr, Gawker, Ashley Madison, and the rest of it. But see, my daughter, she turned 12 yesterday, and the monster is now knocking on my own door, very loudly. My boys keep getting these pictures of girls that look, their Instagram pages look a lot more like porn videos than anything else. And I'm getting really concerned. I don't really know what to do. Basically, I have decided now that I gotta be authentic. And so does everything that I do. No more fat ego. Because I have a responsibility as a human being to make sure that what I do has a decent impact in the world. My kids tell me, yeah, but Dad, you were a teenager too. You did stupidities back then as well. I said, sure I did. But back then I had time to reflect before I posted or did anything online. If I wanted a nudie magazine, which I did, I would have to bike really far to a kiosk that my parents didn't shop at. And if I wanted to be Danish disco king, I first had to go and see, and I was, by the way, but I had to go see John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. I had to stand in front of a mirror like this for hours until it worked. Today, the kids have no time to reflect. Nobody has any time to consider their actions. So here's the issue. What do? How do we control it? We can't rely on priests and politicians and businesses. The businesses are not to blame, and technology neither. That's like saying a hammer is responsible when you bang yourself on the finger, right? So what to do? Well, I have this thing here, this invention. You might say, Niels, that's a coffee filter. I say, no, it's not a coffee filter. It's a fat ego catcher. And it works like this. Basically, if you have concerns that you are a fat ego as an influencer, like a trendsetter, like we were at Von Dutch, you need to consider some things. You need to think about your motive. Am I real? Is the family okay? And think about the impact. And then you go in front of a mirror and you put it on, like this. Thank you. You see, the first thing a fat ego loses is the ability to laugh at itself. It's a very redeeming quality. We all need that. Let's say, for instance, you are a reality star and you're running for president of the United States. You might need a custom-made model because your head probably can't fit it anymore, because you could have illusions of grandeur, like thinking that you're the world's greatest businessman even after 4 bankruptcies. Sorry, I'm not getting political, Ted. I promise not to be, but there it is. Anyway, you got to ask yourself, let's say you're an inventor of sugar daddy or sugar babes or whatever it's called. You got to say, am I okay with my own daughter doing this? And if you're Apple and Google that put your logo on these things, giving it a cool factor that the teenagers are buying into because your brands are amazing and they're admired everywhere. When you're selling this thing and you are actually encouraging online prostitution and a life that's horrible, you need to talk to some of the sexual abuse and incest victims that I've discussed these things with in my tours. A lot of them end up on sites like these because they think that their vulnerabilities and their wounds could be cured by a promiscuous lifestyle. If you're Apple, Google that. Fact check it before it becomes an inconvenience to your PR department and you have to backpedal. So, think your own family and think impact. Now, that brings me to my final thing, and I'm over time, so I should do a little more espresso talk. Now you get to check your little device, your invention. So I'd like you to take it out of your pocket if you have it, please. Thank you. And you need to use this with great care and follow my instructions really well. If you have it, it looks like this. Thank you. It's a smock. Now, I love TED, and it's not a commercial endeavor, and neither should it be. So this is what I have to share. This is not a trademark thing. This is for everybody to use. And if you're someone in China that thinks this is an amazing idea you want to copy, go ahead, be my guest. Now, I want you to carefully put on your smock, like this. Follow my instructions, please. One size fits all, I think, even guys out there that are thinking, I should have a bigger one. I know you, Jeremy, you're somewhere there. Okay. Anyway, here you go. Put it on like that, okay? You got it on, everybody? Excellent. Now you take your smartphone out of your pocket. Please, everybody. I know you've been on it. I've been seeing you posting things on Facebook over there, and stop tweeting and no cat videos, please. Anyway, now I want you to try and tap. Aha. You can. Aha. No swiping, no tapping. Excellent. Now, keep it on, because here's what you do. Before you click it, you smock check it. What's the smock? The social media online condom for safe surfing. We have some ads that we're working on, like this. Get it on before you.com. If you speak a little Yiddish, you'd like this one. Anyhow, at the end of the day, we cannot rely on business or anyone to set the trends. Us as consumers are going to have to choose what we're going to do. So, if your inner beast calls, your Selfie Sapien, if you're about to hate or belittle, or if you're horny or angry, human, you put it on. You put it on if you're that guy about to go on a sugar date and, shooting yourself up with Viagra. You think about your own daughter for a second. If you're that young girl that is about to share a photo with your boyfriend of yourself naked, you think about it. Put it on and go talk to your mom. If you're that boy that's about to share that video with the rest of the world, you put it on and you go and see your sister for a second. If you're about to go on girlsgonemental.com, and I know you are, you put it on. If you're running for mayor of New York City and your name is Wiener, we can't help you. Or you put two on. But at the end of the day, what are we going to do? I think what we have to do is ask us these questions. And we have to act a little more like a family. Like what I'm doing is having an impact. Would I be okay with it being my own family? And you have to be authentic. Don't fake it like we did. So at the end, I'd like to maybe that we consider anything that we do online as a family. Granted, this world, a completely dysfunctional family, absolutely. But brothers and sisters, nonetheless. So if you want to spread hate, do nasty things, you're a politician and you want to belittle someone, put this song on. My favorite song, Stevie Wonder, Love's in Need of Love Today. Possibly, it could help us all consider ourselves an online family. Now I want you to do something for me. I want you to take off your schmuck. You get to keep it, take it home, use it very well. It's great at dinner parties, for instance, when you want to have actual conversations. Concerts, when you want to really be there instead of filming it. You put that back in your pocket and you do one thing. Go back on your iPhone, say something really nice about me on Facebook, tweet me really nicely, because I have a massive ego to feed. Thank you.